Very often, they've already decided who you are. Without ever asking you, they've written a version of you that fits their narrative. And now they are waiting for you to act it out. They are waiting for you to react. They want you to defend, to prove them right. But what happens when you don't? Today's reflection explores the power of refusing to participate in a narrative that was never yours, and how you can use silence to dismantle even the loudest false story about you. Let's break this down. More often, manipulative people will assign you a role. They will call you the difficult one, the problem maker, the unstable one, the one who acts crazy. And suddenly, everything you do is interpreted through that lens. Don't fall for it. It's a trap. It's a bait. And as time goes on, the bait tries to get hold. Resist. Don't fall for it. The pressure builds. You want to explain yourself. You want to justify, to defend your name, to correct the story. Because it feels unfair. The trap is the part that should not be missed. Don't forget that your reaction is part of the script. The more emotional you become, the more justifying or argumentative you are, the more it confirms what they have already decided about you. Don't forget that. So what happens when you don't react? What happens when you don't argue? What happens when you don't perform for an audience that has already made up its mind? You disrupt the script. Something shifts. The plot is damned to fail. The story loses its momentum because it was never meant to stand on its own. It needed your participation. It needed your energy. It needed your reaction. And by you refusing to participate and stepping out of the story and not responding or not arguing, you destroyed the momentum of the story. You killed the story. The story cannot stand without you. And that's the space you come back to yourself. You reclaim your power to what you know is true, to how you actually live, not what someone tried to be. Returning to yourself allows you to redo the script on your own terms, letting people see who you truly are and not the false image of you that other people try to portray by telling lies and making up stories. Silence becomes a strength at this point. Remember, silence isn't a weakness. It is simply you gaining clarity. It is peace and you helping you enter your personal alignment. As you choose not to be pulled into something that distorts you, you choose to stay silent. And over time, your consistency speaks for itself, not loudly, but clearly, in a way that doesn't need defending. So my dear friends, be reminded that it is not in every situation that you will need to justify yourself. Not everyone needs to understand. Some will criticize, others will judge, others will live your life, and that's okay. Because your life is not a performance for everyone to come and act. Let misunderstanding exist and play the game to your advantage. You don't have to play a role you didn't choose. You don't have to defend a truth you already live. Sometimes the most powerful things you can do is simply to refuse to participate in a story that isn't yours. If this reflection resonated with you, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and come back for more reflections on healing and growth. Thank you for watching.